there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with the gang from Sell for 1%. And we're talking with Rich Ciccone over at Equitable Finance. And Rich, thanks for joining us here. But we have an interesting situation with one of our agents, Big Mike Hopper. And Mike, you made a loan application. And for the last 24 hours, 36 hours, how many phone calls have you received from lenders?
126.
Oh boy. And that's just you. Your wife also got
50 or 60 of them.
so you
we're pushing 200 phone calls in 24 hours between.
At least you're wanted, Mike. At least you're wanted.
Yeah, not for the right reasons in this point. So
So tell us briefly, just tell us kind of, what you did, what happened, and maybe we can also find a solution here as well.
So I've, when I applied, because I actually applied for a loan with Rich back in 2021 to purchase our home. And of course I got some phone calls and stuff from that. Surprisingly enough, not at the same rate I did this time. So yesterday morning I had the previous day, applied for a home equity loan on our property. I'm going through First Financial Bank. Obviously, I haven't spoken to anybody or told anybody about it. I never signed up on a random website for it. But when they did my initial credit application and it went through Experian and Equifax and TransUnion, all of the agencies around who pay them money to get my information received that information, and that's why the next day I was just bombarded with phone calls. More than I've ever experienced in my life before.
So obviously lenders aren't as busy as they were a couple years ago.
It has to be the only reason I can think of to receive the type of phone calls I did. Because again, I don't remember. I'll remember this for a long time, but when I applied with Rich, I don't remember receiving that many phone calls.
And so Rich, let me ask you real quick. When you have someone do an application with you guys, are those borrowers or soon to be borrowers, are they being subjected to the same thing whenever a loan hits these credit unions and whatever? They're getting, and you used the term a little bit earlier, what was it called?
It's called trigger leads.
Trigger leads.
Trigger leads. That's what it's known as in the industry. So when a lender runs your credit, that is a trigger that, okay, Mr. Hopper is in the market for a mortgage. He's applied for a mortgage and they've run his credit at whatever bank it would be. And so there are companies out there that buy these trigger leads. And so they just literally get a notification that Joe Smith has applied for a mortgage here in the phone number. And then time is of the essence, just like a realtor.com lead might be or something. Immediately these lenders are calling and trying to give you an alternative offer on that credit that you're applying for. Okay. And then the other thing that trigger leads also do is for retention purposes. A big bank like a Chase or Huntington or Fifth Third or somebody, they may have a software set up that allows them to be notified if one of their existing clients is applying for a mortgage with an outside bank. So they can then call that client and say, hey, I see that you're applying for a mortgage. You've been with us for X amount of years. Can we help you? You're one of our clients. We value your business. So I don't really object to it so much in the retention aspect, of somebody trying to retain their clients. But when your name hits those other trigger lead databases where all these companies are buying leads, and they're buying them, by the way, from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, the three big companies are selling these leads. So I, the lender, run your credit, and then I pay for running your credit to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They, in turn, after I've paid them for this information, sell that information to my competition as a trigger lead.
And
it's
that's
crazy.
anybody.
You need
anybody.
credit. Well, you need credit for everything. You know,
Right.
you have to do it when you apply for loans and you do all this stuff. I think it's just like you need it, and you need these companies to track it in order to have it, and they're allowed to sell your personal information for profit. I don't know.
So things aren't all crazy because, Mike, you mentioned that one of the guys that you were talking to gave you a solution.
He did, and I'm glad I took his call because I've been trying my best to tell everybody I'm on the DNC, and I expressed my frustration, and God bless this guy. He's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. He goes, I have a website for you, and he goes, you can go there and then opt out, and he goes, you know, use it in the future or tell clients about it, but it's called optoutprescreen.com. And it's the official consumer credit reporting industry website to accept and process requests from consumers to opt in or opt out of firm offers of credit or insurance, aka what the companies are doing, seeing that you're on there and then making offers of credit or insurance. So
And this is this is a free service.
It is, yes. Unfortunately, I did it after the fact.
Yep.
It would be beneficial to do this prior to applying for a loan so you don't get hit with this stuff.
Right.
Also, make sure that you're on the national DNC just to cover all your bases. But we're doing this.
I'm guessing that the big credit, before they send out your information, are scrubbing against the do not call list, or at least notifying whoever's buying the lead that you're on the DNC, of which you were not.
No.
And you didn't opt into, what is it? Opt out pre-screen.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And so we'll have that link here on the screen. And so you had 2 strikes against you, and now you have 200 phone calls.
It's just, well, I'm laughing because as we're cutting this video that we're only 4 minutes into, I've gotten 4 more phone calls. So
Isn't that amazing? I mean, like I say, lenders aren't as busy as they were, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago. They're looking for more business, and, you know, that's life. But for anybody out there thinking about buying a home, making an application, wonder if it's like, if I'm going to do optoutprescreen.com right now, and then 10 minutes later, I make application with Rich, how quickly does that information get back to the credit reporting agencies? I mean, I'm guessing it probably takes a few days, I would think, at least.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't really know the answer to that, Dave. I'm going to research some of this over the next week and see if I can get, I've already emailed one of my contacts at the credit bureau to see if they could confirm this will actually take you off the list and how long it might be before that actually gets executed.
Okay. Well, we'll give an update on this, but thought it was good information for anybody out there thinking about making a home loan application, whether it's to buy new or to refinance, or I'm guessing do the HELOC. Is that right, Mike?
yes. No, it is not a HELOC. It's not a HELOC. I'm sorry. I can't with some of these. Here's a tip for everybody who's looking to apply for a loan. Not all lenders are created equal. It's the truth. Like Rich over here, that's one of the reasons I used him, is he knows what he's talking about. I just had a person call me and tell me that a home equity loan and a home equity line of credit are the exact same thing, which is so far from the truth. So just be really careful who you're applying with and who's actually looking at your stuff and doing your loan, because you can get some people who have no idea what they're talking about.
Main thing here, optoutprescreen.com until Rich can confirm it.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, guys.